Well, here's a petty Pendergrass story that I didn't think I'd ever get a chance to do, but it just seems like these videos just continue to get better and better. But before I get started, shout out to Caressa McKnight for sending me this wonderful story coming out of Chicago. So, if you don't know who this person is in this picture, that is now former police superintendent Eddie Johnson, who is now been fired from his position. Now, what makes this petty Pendergrass production so interesting is not the fact that he got fired, it's the fact that he got fired 2 weeks before he was set to retire. That means whatever pension he was going to get in retirement, he's not going to get. That 2 weeks away just became a lifetime away. We're about to get into it, and wait until you find out why he got fired. And you're going to find out why I have an issue with this man. Mayor Lori Lightfoot fired Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson effective immediately Monday for intentionally misleading her and the public about his conduct when he was found asleep in his running vehicle at a stop sign after a late weeknight out in October. This moment needs to be a turning point for the Chicago Police Department and the way things are done in the city, said Lightfoot, emphasizing that culture change must take place. The stunning announcement came just weeks after Lightfoot held what she referred to Monday as a celebratory press conference to announce Johnson's retirement by years in after about 3.5 years at the helm. Former Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck, previously named Johnson's interim successor, was on a flight to Chicago and would immediately take control of the beleaguered department. He'll be here this afternoon, she said. The mayor said she personally delivered the news to Johnson Monday morning. She gave 3 reasons for dumping him. The first is that he engaged in conduct that is not only unbecoming but demonstrated a series of ethical lapses and flawed decision-making in the incident in October. The second being that the superintendent called a news conference later the day of the incident in which he communicated a narrative replete with false statements, all seemingly intended to hide the true nature of his conduct from the evening before. And 3, that Johnson intentionally lied to the mayor several times, even when I challenged him about the narrative that he shared with me. This woman literally gave this man multiple chances to come clean with her, and he lied every single time. Johnson could not immediately be reached Monday for comment. Just last month, in announcing Johnson's impending resignation, Lightfoot had praised him for his calming influence after taking over department, reeling from court-ordered release of police dashboard camera video showing a white officer shoot black teen Laquan McDonald 16 times. That's where my issue with him stems from, because of the role he played with that back with what's his face back in 2014. Johnson had been plucked from relative obscurity as chief of patrol in April 2016 when then mayor, there his name is, Rahm Emanuel, bypassed 3 finalists chosen by the Chicago Police Board and appointed him superintendent. On Monday, Lightfoot told reporters she had reviewed the city's inspectors general's report by the October incident and videotaped evidence that left her with no choice but to fire Johnson. I saw things that were inconsistent with what Mr. Johnson had told me personally and what he had revealed to members of the public. With the inspector's general report still not public, Lightfoot declined to be more specific about what the videotaped evidence showed, but hinted that it would be more hurtful to Johnson's family. While at some point the IG's report may become public and those details may be revealed, I don't feel like it's appropriate or fair to Mr. Johnson's wife or family to do so at this time. Officers responding to a 911 call found Johnson asleep in his parked car near his home at about 12:30 a.m. on October 17th. Officers let him drive home without testing for whatever he had been drinking, a decision Johnson later defended, saying someone asleep in a car doesn't mean they are impaired. Johnson blamed the incident on his failure to take his blood pressure medication. After suffering a blood clot this past summer, he said his cardiologist had recently adjusted his medication. The superintendent said he removed the old medication from his weekly pill box, but had not yet obtained the new prescription. Johnson said he had been tired after a long day at work that Wednesday, but went out to dinner with friends at night. He said it felt ill as he drove home from dinner. How can I explain it? It's just your body kind of gives you a warning with the high blood pressure thing that you may pass out. So I pulled over, stopped, and I just rested myself until that feeling passed. Johnson has not explained why he was driving home from a dinner engagement at 12:30 a.m., particularly on a day he said he felt fatigued. I think there might be a little bit more to his story that he's not telling. Anthony Guglielmi, the police department's chief spokesman, previously released a statement saying alcohol did not play a role in the incident. But Johnson also admitted to Lightfoot that he had a couple of drinks with dinner, the mayor previously said. Had Lightfoot known all of the facts, she wouldn't have participated in the celebratory news conference with Johnson announcing his retirement, she said. At Monday's news conference, Lightfoot said that time and again, rank and file police officers were held accountable for wrongdoing, but that supervisors got a pass even when the supervisors were aware or directed the conduct of the issue. I'm going to end it off right here because there's way more to the story, but we pretty much get the picture. Well, you know what? I feel absolutely nothing for Eddie Johnson because of how he dealt with the Laquan McDonald thing. He has much blame in that as Rahm Emanuel has, and let's not also forget the role that he played with the whole Jussie Smollett thing. Depending on how you feel about that, he was kind of one-sided with that type of thing, and then I think he also had something to do, or how he dealt with the whole R. Kelly situation as well. But that Laquan McDonald one right there, that was the nail in the coffin. So I don't feel anything for Eddie Johnson. I think that low of him that I'm not even gonna call him by his title of superintendent Eddie Johnson. I don't think I ever have. But you know, it is what it is. Like I said, the funny part about it is that he got fired literally 2 weeks before he was set to retire. So whatever retirement pension check he was going to get, he's not going to get now. So I hope he has saved up with the money that he has made, which I'm very sure is quite a bit, nothing to frown at, and live off of that. And hopefully he invests properly. But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.